All right. It's another beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning in the capital city, Abuja. And of course, wherever you're watching us from, it's the morning telecast of programs from Rapid TV, channel 176 on Star Times. This is Correro, the conversation, Rapid TV, social, political, and general interest show where we get to delve into all issues, especially burning issues in our bid to prefer workable, practicable solutions to issues of national interest. I am Nkamian John, the beloved, also known as the controversial, and this morning on the show, we'll be having what I consider a very, very interesting conversation. Yes, why? Because I will be discussing, or I will be engaging a gentleman who I share some common. I have a lot of things in common with. One, he's a publisher, the publisher of Arise Igala magazine. I was just looking at the magazine and I was just commending him about the quality of the print. Now, that is one aspect about me, quality, excellence, right? And then he's an author, just like myself. 3 books yet to be published, but I like to rub shoulders with my fellow colleagues who have written books. Now, anybody who has written any form, any material in the form of a book will tell you it's no easy fit. It takes a lot of inspiration to sit down and pencil your thoughts, your ideas, your whatever information you choose to want to share with the rest of the world. And then the cap on top of it is that he's a developmental journalist. Of course, you know I'm a journalist. So you see, we share a lot in common. Well, this morning we will be looking at the Igala nation, of course, as they foster national unity, peace, and development. Now, if you are a history student or social studies, like we studied back in the day, you will know that the Igala tribe is one of the major recognized tribes across Nigeria. Though over the years, they've also, kind of said that rather than be recognized for who they are, they've also been seen to be the minority. We'll find out why shortly. But the beautiful thing is that the Igala people in recent years have been at the forefront of fostering national unity, peace, and most importantly, development in Nigeria. And joining me to have this conversation this morning is Onoja Okpanachi. He is the publisher, Arise Igala magazine. He's an author and development journalist. Onoja, it's great to have you join us this morning on Correro.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being here this morning.
Now, in recent times,
Yeah.
the talk across Nigeria
Yeah.
has been the conversation of marginalization. You go to the northeast, they talk about marginalization. You go to the southeast, they talk about marginalization.
Yes.
You go to the south-south, they talk about marginalization. In fact, the south-south, the hue and cry has always been there, because they'll tell you we are the golden goose that lays the golden egg. Yet we are not getting value for what we contribute to the nation.
Yeah.
Then, over time, we have seen certain social-cultural groups come to the fore to foster certain agendas, mostly political agendas. But in recent times, the Igala people have been more about development, fostering unity. And you are one of those individuals who has been at the helm of this ideology, this philosophy.
Yeah.
So why have the Igala people chosen to go a completely different route as against what we have seen from the larger majority? Because these groups that have come to propagate these various political agitations and all of that seem to be the major tribes across Nigeria.
Yeah. You see, good morning once again, dear viewers. The truth about this conversation, when you talk about marginalization,
Yes.
is an issue that will never disappear.
Why?
So long as humans exist on the surface of this earth. For instance, if you say Kaduna State, by the time you get to Kaduna State, I will take a local government and maybe a set of people from Kaduna State cry for marginalization.
Yes. Southern Kaduna.
Give the Southern Kaduna people certain slot. That is when you will now hear that this person from this southern part of Kaduna is from so part of Southern Kaduna. By the time you get to a particular ward, for instance, in that Southern Kaduna, now other people within there will begin to say this person, this Mr. A, is from so place and not so place. Within that same ward, there will be a lot of cry about marginalization. So it's a part of human nature. And one thing that can help, which is the angle we are taking it from Arise Igala perspective, Arise Igala production perspective, is whatever people do, whenever people get agitated and eventually they go into the peak of the agitation, let's say war, for instance, at the end of the day, to move out of that war situation, to get the real result of why they are fighting, they still have to come down back to the table to discuss. So I ask myself, why not do the discussion, no matter how long it will take?
Why not judge other than war?
Do the discussion, get it done, trash out everything that needed to be trashed out, then get an agreement and work with the agreement. Marginalization will never disappear as far as human exists on the surface of this earth.
When you say marginalization will never disappear, one wonders because when you look at countries, let me not go too far.
Okay.
Here on the African continent.
Yeah.
Now, some years ago, there was genocide in Rwanda.
In Rwanda.
But today, you go to Rwanda, you don't hear any Rwandese tell you, I am Tutsi, I am Hutsi.
Yes.
What you hear is, I am Rwandese. That's what you hear. And it took one man
to bring about that change.
Yes. So what will it take for Africa's largest nation to cross that divide where we no longer look at ourselves?
You are from south, you are from east, you are from north, you are from west.
Exactly.
That is the point.
And see ourselves as Nigerians.
As Nigerian. That is the second part, the second phase we are going to go to, that I was about heading. When I talk about marginalization will never disappear until we begin to address certain things that are fundamental, certain things that are key. Development. If Mr. A from East will wake up and work and get paid the right money he worked for,
yes,
and Mr. B from North will work, get the right pay, go to the same market, get what they need. You wake up, you have your light. You wake up, your water is flowing. You wake up, you go to the market, you can get the food and everything you want. You see, the idea of who is ruling, who is at the top, will begin to fade off. Will begin to fade off. But when there is pain, when there's cry, when there is, you are working, you are not seeing the money, you take the hundreds of thousands to market, you come back, you begin to look at the stuff you just purchased. Are they really worth this money? Is worth buying? Then you begin to think, who is even our leader? At that time, you will not say a Nigerian is heading again. You say this man is from North, this man is from East. That is how they do. That problem will begin to set in. Leadership. If the leadership is correct, these things will naturally fade off or they will be reduced to the lowest level. The noise about it will be very, very minimal, except for where you need to identify with your cultural values. You cannot say, I am an Idoma, I am Igala, I am Ishekiri, I am this, when you want to relate with those positive side of the values, positive side of the culture. That is when you begin to say, I am this, I am that, but not on all facets of our life, that at every point you say, the Northerners. At this point you say, the Southerners. That's because we're having challenges. So leadership, good leadership, quality leadership can get this fixed.
There's been so much talk about leadership.
Yeah.
The question I want to ask is, as a group,
Yeah.
as a people,
Yeah.
have we deliberately put in place the systems, structures that will allow for us, or that will throw up the best leadership qualities or materials in the persons that we think can steer the ship of our society, our country in the right direction? Because there are so many conversations about leadership, but there seems to be no deliberate action
True.
to really create a conveyor belt or a system that throws up the best leadership materials that we have to offer.
Yes, that is true. In my own opinion, I would say practically, we are not being deliberate enough. But theoretically, there are lots of policies, there are lots of situations that ought to give us the best. But practically, we are not approaching situations the right way. Let me give you an instance. Form a political party today. The ideology of the formation of the political party A, for instance, go through the papers, read them. Fantastic ideas. If they should follow their own rules set by themselves, the process will be seamless. Fantastic results. People that will lead will emerge without challenges. But are they following the rules they set for themselves as political organizations, as political parties first? That is that on the political side of it. Then come to the people, we that are even complaining. Take a cab, for instance. If there are traffic lights on the road, the basic things, if there are traffic lights on the road, I want to tell you, if you bought 10 cab in a day, I want to tell you about 8 of them will
run against the lights,
yes.
Traffic lights.
Yes. And this person continue, and it's a normal thing. Want to chew a gum, will throw away the paper on the road as he's walking. Sometimes you'll be wondering, there is a waste bin by somebody's side, but you feel like you should just throw it somewhere. There are things that should be part of us that we should imbibe naturally. And then make it something that Mr. A should do, I should do. And if we keep doing it, and one of us tomorrow become a leader at the local level, at the world level, local government level, state level, federal level, then that person can exhibit that same character, that same good character. We're not being deliberate. It starts from the roots. We're not being deliberate.
You know why I asked this question? Because this weekend you're going to have an event where leadership is going to form a larger part of the conversation.
Yes.
So, how long do we continue to do the theoretical part? Because why I'm asking this, I'm wondering what the take-home should be at the end of that event on that you intend to have this weekend.
Okay. You see, I have a discussion with some of the discussants on how we should go, and some of my team members at the Arise Igala production. And we said after the talk, we should be able to carve a project out of the discussion, out of the whole resolution being made. We should have a project at the end of the day, because the team we are dealing with is very, very critical. We are dealing with social media. The team we are discussing at this 11th edition of our Arise Igala Leadership Awards and Lectures is very, very critical. Social media has become part of us. We can't do away with it as it stands right now, but for good or for bad. We should be able at this point to begin to guide people. This thing is meant for this. They may not hear immediately. They may not hear now, but keep telling them. It will register at some point. For example, you tell someone, don't touch fire. He keeps attempting because today he gets there, nothing happened. Tomorrow you want to do it, nothing happened. Next tomorrow, if he gets hurt, he'll remember that somebody has been telling him that this thing can hurt you. He will not do it again. But if nobody ever told him or her that this thing can hurt you, the day that he or she gets hurt, he will say, what happened? He want to try again. So the part of the theory is good. The part of the conversation is good. Because on the long run, it will register. It will begin to register.
But why social media? Because, I mean, whether we like it or not, social media is here to stay.
It's here to stay.
It's the future, like I like to say, the future is already here.
Yeah.
And the technology, though designed for everyone, but it's more for the younger people. And we've always said the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. Yes. So the more familiar they get with the technology, supposedly, it's supposed to help them make better decisions,
Yes.
Be able to do things that you and I couldn't do when we didn't have this technology at our disposal.
Yes.
So, but why social media?
Now, social media, because the usage is critical. It's a vehicle to achieving a particular objective, to getting to a destination. But how do we use this vehicle? How do we drive this vehicle? Are we driving it following the rules, or we are driving it roughly, just like the traffic, the cab guys that we just talked about?
Yeah.
Are we driving them roughly? For instance, you wake up in the morning. Okay, I give a good example. Something happened. I would not want to mention it, but it's a real life situation that happened in Nigeria here. I think about 2 years ago or a year ago. A key political actor of northern origin died in the east. And just 2 days after, a key easterner died somewhere in the north. And the following morning, I saw on a social media platform that the death of this man
Triggered
is a reprisal, it's a kind of attack
as a result
of the death of that man in the east, the northerner that died in the east. Immediately, I contacted the person in charge of that platform, that what is your source of this information? And he said he just saw it somewhere. I said, where? Tell me the place you saw it. Did you confirm from the source that that was actually what happened? He said no. He just saw it and he felt like, I say, do you understand the consequences of your action?
Of putting out this kind of information.
This information. This point, that was pre-election. That was before this last election, presidential election, 2023 election. I said, do you understand the tense situation we're having in this country right now? And we are putting out this kind of information. You are creating more tension. The atmosphere is already tensed. And with this kind of information, a key northerner died in the east, and 2 days after, a key easterner died in the north, and you are saying they attacked this man because of this. Hold on. He gave me the contact of the source. I called the person. No, the person said, no, that is what they say. I said, no. This person you are talking about has at least some number of security personnel with him. If you are saying they attack him, now, picture of the house. Was there any form of attack? Was there any form of obstruction that they bypass the police, they bypass the DSS before they attack him? Or what happened? How did it happen? Was it chemical? How did it happen? I said, you know what you need to do right now? Since you are not sure, remove this thing from your site. He removed it. The next person removed it. The next person removed it. And that was how we were able to kill that story. Now, the essence of the platform social media is to disseminate information.
Yes.
To contact each other, to network.
Yes.
But you see the usage now. The country would have boiled down just because somebody is using it wrongly.
So, by virtue of this conversation,
yes,
were you supportive of the conversation under the last administration to regulate social media?
Before the whole level falls on me right now. You see, when you talk about regulation, there is lot of for and against based on the point. If you talk about regulation at this point, now, the attacks you may have against may be lesser compared to when you raise the issue of regulation when election is about to come. Because people will say you want to stop them, you want to limit their power of information dissemination and all those stuff. You want to disconnect them from the real engagement, citizen engagement, and what have you. So, if we want regulation because of what we are seeing now, we should discuss it when it's not election period.
Will that be part of the conversation on Saturday?
That's why we are bringing people from various backgrounds, for and against. Let us have a robust discussion. That is the essence. We are not bringing people that are all for or people that are all against. We've selected people from various backgrounds, like the keynote speaker, Dr. Chichi Anyagolu, the regional director of Ford Foundation, West Africa. Dr. Yero from Abuja, she's an author, and a lecturer in University of Abuja. Henry Anibe, he's a development communication expert. We have Adeyemi Akpatira. She's a communication expert. They have various opinions, they have diverse opinions about this topic. So let them come on board, let us discuss. And the moderator is one person that is so vast, Dr. Nathan Oguche Emmanuel, vast in this area of discussion. So let them bring opinions on board. Let us now have a resolution, and then we'll decide which way to go. That is the essence of the conversation on Saturday.
So it is not just focused at Igala, the Igala nation,
no,
but it spread across Nigeria.
Nigeria, yes.
With the hope that at least it will be seen that the Igala people are the ones championing this newfound ideology.
Yes.
So Saturday, give us an idea of what the entire event would look like.
Okay, on Saturday, at the Arise Igala Leadership Awards and Lectures, in fact, this edition is the 11th edition. We've been coming, and that every edition we treat topics that are relevant to the time, and we have been getting results. So on Saturday, we're expecting something more that we have been experiencing in the past. And considering the topic we're even treating at this point, we are more concerned about getting good resolutions, getting good points out that we're going to hold on to, that we'll be able to put together, and from there move ahead, so that the gathering will not just be for nothing, but the purpose would have been achieved. And if you see the selection from all the names I've called, apart from the moderator, who is an Igala man, Dr. Nathan Emmanuel Oguche Emmanuel, and Mr. Henry Anibe, the rest are non-Igala. One from the north, one from the east, one from the west. Because the primary objective of Arise Igala Leadership Awards and Lectures is sailing through culture to national unity, peace, and development. We are for those history that will harness people, that will bring people together for peace, unity, and development of the country. We don't go into those histories, into those stories that will keep scattering the people more and more and all this. We are more concerned about building bridges that connect people more than disconnecting those bridges, those things that connect us more. That is.
Well, let's look at the Igala people.
Yes.
What are your greatest concerns and worries with regards to Igala people? Considering the fact that rather than agitate, you are coming more with a solution-driven, result-oriented mindset to say, look, it's not as if we don't have our problems, but rather than agitate, we want to find workable solutions to common problems that cuts across. So, but for you, who is at the forefront of this vanguard, what are your worries for the Igala people?
You see, times have so changed. And one of my major worries for my people is that, you know, history, records of our past adventures are huge. They are there. From the British archive, from the Northern Nigeria archive, from the Portuguese archive, you can go there, see the history of the Igala people. And the issue of the amalgamation of Nigeria,
Yes.
everything has to be with the consultation, in consultation with the Igala, who was in power then, that even gave out, leased out Lokoja to the British people to settle before they were able to navigate through to the northern part. And we have all this huge history. But you see, by the time you sit back and you are so concerned about the past, you disconnect yourself from today and you are not looking at the future. You're in a dangerous position already. So my concern for my people right now is that as we have those huge history, as we have those robust and powerful history, things that talk great about us as a people, we should not stop at that level. We are in a new era. We should begin to come to terms with this reality of today. Tap from our past, connect to today, and begin to project and begin to look into the future, what the future should be for us. So our history should be our strength.
What kind of future
Yeah.
are you? I mean, right now you're at the vanguard of repositioning the mindset of the Igala people. So what kind of future are you looking at for the Igala nation? Every time I hear Igala nation, I smile, because even from where I come from, you have the various tribal groups who call themselves one nation after the other, and all of that. But what future are you looking at for the Igala people?
Okay, this is what we are doing at Arise Igala platform. We have the Arise Igala magazine. We are working on the Arise Igala television to come up.
Okay.
And we are working on what we call Arise Igala Connect. And it will surprise you that we are not so in a hurry, that we created a mission. We set a mission for ourselves. We set a target for ourselves. And we are saying by 2045.
2045.
Coincidentally, it's in this magazine. You can see it. Now, for the Arise Igala television, we say by the year 2045 and beyond, we see a very strong Igala nation that will be playing major roles in Nigeria economically and politically. That by the coming of Arise Igala television, we have already set a target by 2045. This is where we want to see Igala nation. A strong people that will be playing major roles in Nigeria.
But you already have prominent sons and daughters from Igala land.
If I tell you the number of people that we have that are contributing greatly within Nigeria and outside Nigeria that are of Igala origin, you'll be amazed. Let me tell you, the people, the great ones that you know right now, they are not up to 10% of the great men that we have.
Really?
Yes. But what we need to do at this point as a people is coming together, collaboration. Putting our heads together. We are very strong individually.
So now you want to
collectively,
harness
yes,
that
those individual greatness to a big whole and move ahead. That is what we lack. Collectivity. Individually, we are great. Should I tell you one thing? That my uncle, Dr. Jacob, is one of the 3 major doctors of the late Queen of England. He's still in the UK there. Should I begin to give you a list of great men from Igala land? I say the ones you know, they are not up to 10% of the great people we have, but they are there individually.
But why? There's something I've noticed about the Igala people. They're not braggadocious. They're very humble, quiet people, silent achievers. Is that a cultural philosophy that backs that mindset, that character trait that the Igala people portray? They are silent achievers.
Yes, they are. There is a cultural upbringing that make that a kind of attribute, trait of an average Igala man. He wants his results to speak for him. And like I told you, silent achiever individually, they are there. You see, there is this proverb which some of us are now beginning to see, that though great, it has worked in the past, but today it's not working for us again. In Igala, they say, "Ene na agunyu ayochu." In English, it means, or let me put it in the
Local parlance.
In the local parlance. They'll say, every man fit sit down for a compound, they see moon. So you don't need to enter
Another person's
compound. So you are a great man
where you are.
Where you are. You stay in your compound, you look up, you see the moon. So I stay in my compound, I look the moon. So I don't need to come to you, you don't need to come to me. You see, that gives some level of contentment in the real sense of it. I don't need to look at you, what you have, what you don't have, and all this. I don't need to mind about what you are achieving and all these things. Just be achieving your, just be going. I'm achieving my own, I'm going. But today, what is the reality? We need to come together. We have a waterland, we have a waterway, coastal, where that if all the estate experts, estate moguls we have in Abuja here, for instance, not other part of Nigeria, those we have in Abuja here, put their heads together, they can turn Itobe. There's a part of Igala land called Itobe. That waterway, they can turn it to
another Miami.
Yes. But we are not together. Everybody sits in his house and they can see moon. So it's positive on that side, but on the other side, it's negative. So that is our intention right now. Bring them together. Begin to educate people. Begin to inform people until we begin to see the need for collaboration, the need of joining forces to become a stronger whole than I am big, you are big, I don't care about you, don't care about me. It will help us at the end of the day.
Let's come back to Saturday's event.
All right, sir.
And the focus on social media.
Yes.
Considering the fact that social media has gone beyond just being a platform.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about artificial intelligence, AI. We're talking about digital technology.
Yes.
Will that also form part of Saturday's conversation?
Yes, it will, because we're not just going to stop at what people already know. We are seeing and we're going to talk about what the future holds for us. The AI part that you just talked about now, there are a lot of things that people are creating with the system right now that calls for people to be more conscious. If somebody wants to send us something scandalous about Mr. A right now, they can stay at their house and create it. And if experts should handle such project, you begin to wonder, can this person deny that he's not the one involved, that he's not the one in this video? That is where issue of fact check comes in. Now, before you grab something from social media and run with it, you need to be conscious of, is this the real person or the one created with the aid of AI? So these are the things that we'll be discussing. We need to go beyond now and begin to see the big picture of what is coming, the good and bad that is coming in the future with the help of this, so that we can prepare ourselves and, where necessary, avoid problems for ourselves.
Is Arise Igala deliberately avoiding the political side of things? Considering the fact that prominent Igala sons and daughters have also and are, as we speak, playing prominent political positions even in this administration.
Yes, yes.
At a point in time, an Igala man was the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party.
Yes. Ochada Dr. Modali.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we've not really heard anything from the Igala people with regards to national politics, whether they are being maligned, marginalized, because of the dynamic nature of Nigerian politics. But is there a deliberate attempt for Arise Igala and Igala people to, remain in the shadows and play the political chessboard from behind the scene?
Let me speak first for the Arise Igala. It's a deliberate thing for us not to go all out political. But like I told you, from the timeline we've set for ourselves, they will be playing major roles economically and politically. Strong one. that they will come and contest for any office in the nation, and at that point, nobody will care to ask, is he a minority? Is he this and that? No, that will not be the target at that point again. But he can. The capacity is there. He would have been sold to that point that yes, he can deliver and everybody believe in him. So it has to be a conscious effort. But if the situation is hot now and everybody is jumping in and you are not prepared, you just want to jump in, there will be a big challenge. Then for the people generally, I think part of the discussion we had earlier is playing a major role. Why it seems that though we have great players in national politics, but the impact seems not to be there because of the individualistic nature of the people. For example, if we have 2-3 persons out there and they can put their heads together and say this is the direction we are going for the people, I want to tell you that the impact will be great, and that is where we need to begin to show our people the sign to head now. Collaboration.
Now, in the 8th edition of your Arise Igala Leadership Awards lecture, you acknowledge the achievements of then DSP Abba Kyari.
Yes.
Sadly, Abba Kyari today is not celebrated for his achievements, but when his name comes up, it's more about the saga that had led to his incarceration.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Unfortunately, that is the way life has been. There's nothing you can do about that. People celebrate you today. In fact, if you are rising, you must prepare your mind for that. If not, you are going to kill yourself. At a point, you commit suicide. Any man that is rising must be conscious of the fact that one day will come. The same people that say, hail him, Hosanna, son of David, those same people, not higher crowd, will turn around tomorrow to say, crucify him.
So, as far as you're concerned, his eventual incarceration has not had any negative effect on the fact that you recognized him?
No. His records, the reasons why we honored him then, they are there. They were, I mean, they were there. The reasons were just there. They were very obvious. You can see them. You can see the results of what he was doing back then. And we celebrated him. The same year, we celebrated late High Chief
Raymond
Alehodopesi. The same year, we celebrated him. His records were there. You cannot take away those things that he achieved. You cannot take away those things. So we celebrated him for those reasons, and those reasons.
And you recognized him as a friend of Igala land and Igala people.
Yes, yes. And he has many people that he has touched their lives that are Igala people. And that is what we do. We build bridges. We build bridges. So that would have encouraged him to draw more Igala people closer, that they are trustworthy people. I want to tell you, if you want to do, if you want to go into oil and gas business, all you need to do, get Igala people.
Yeah, I noticed that. That virtually every filling station,
irrespective of the challenges that you have today, that people are no longer loyal, trustworthy, and all these things, yes, 90% of those Igala people, the 10% you may not speak for all of, you may not say 100% because human characters are there, but the 90% of the Igala people you have there, you can trust them with your work. They will deliver. An average Igala man, just like we were talking about earlier, has this level of contentment. It's not my own. It's not my own. I'm going to get my own. So he's relaxed. He's going to get his own. All he needs is just to know the way. He's going to get his own. And if he knows the way, he's going to work hard to get there.
So beyond Saturday's event,
yes,
where we will have this Jojo conversation about social media, the pros, the cons, with a hope to coming up with a project to further endear the resolutions of Saturday's conversation. Looking ahead to the awards proper, any surprises for the 11th edition?
Yeah, there are surprises. Should I let the cat out of the bag already? There are surprises. Maybe the news after, we'll see them.
All right. I'm sure there are a number of Igala people listening to this conversation as we have it. And hearing you, you've sold the Igala agenda, as it were. But if you were to say anything to Igala people across Nigeria and in diaspora who are watching this show, what would you say to them?
I would tell them, my brothers, my sisters, my fathers, my mothers, time is changing. We should dwell less on the past. We should take our past records, our past history to today and see where we were in the past, see where we are today, and be challenged to be better and be greater tomorrow. And one of the ways we can achieve that is collaboration. The individualistic attitude so far has not helped us. We are great men individually, but collectively, we are not there yet. So we need to be there.
Well, Onoja, thank you so much for the opportunity of having this conversation. I've got to learn a lot about Igala people. I have one or two friends from Igala land. Fortunately, I'm very close to the former DG of the NBC, Thomas Daba. His daughter, is my very good friend, and his son-in-law were all colleagues back in the day in that communication. And you're very right. If there's anything I can't say about Igala people, level of contentment.
Thomas Daba is our brother from the Ibira, Aziz.
Yeah.
The former DG, the former acting DG NBC Professor Armstrong Idachaba,
yes.
And Igala man.
Yes. If there's anything I can say, I agree with you. That spirit of contentment, it's amiable, very, very amiable. But we do hope that when we come calling again, you oblige us your presence, especially in the build-up to the awards proper, so that we can then let the cat out of the bag and share some of those surprises. Well, that's the show this morning on Correro, this edition of Correro. You never know what to expect, but as always, we keep our promise of keeping our ears to the ground and our searchlight beamed on development. So you never know. Our searchlight could just come into your kitchen. You never know. All right, so till we come your way with another incisive edition of the show, I am Kamian John, reminding you the show is live and interactive. So all you need to do is follow and like Rapid TV on all social media platforms. We are at Official Rapid TV. Remember, at Official Rapid TV. And of course, you can follow live developments of our transmission via our website, www.rbnradiotv.com, and get to follow. And don't forget, make your contributions. Even when the show ends, the conversation continues online, so that we keep the engagement going. Till we come your way tomorrow with another incisive edition of the show. It's bye for now.